name's Steph, and I am a community ambassador for RUOK Day, and I'm also the CEO and founder of the Indonesia Foundation, which is a mental wellness and suicide prevention charity. Today I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story, and I just want to let you guys know that it might be a bit triggering for some of us in the room that may have lost someone to suicide, or you yourself are suffering with suicidal thoughts or any mental health stresses or illnesses. Now, back in 2013, I attempted to take my life, and it resulted in a 3-month stay in a psych ward. In that time, I realised I was a high-functioning person with anxiety, depression and OCD. I worked in a dental practice. I managed over 24 staff, and not one person recognised that I wasn't okay. And what you may know or may not know is that we can have a really good mask. And the main thing about the RUOK Day message this year is trusting your gut and trusting the signs that you see. Because although sometimes we think that everyone's okay and they might say that they're fine, when you ask them in the pit of your gut, you might know that they're not. And how that looked like for me was I kept saying yes to extra shifts. I kept saying yes to everything, picking up extra roles, doing things that I wasn't paid for, and going above and beyond the call of duty for my role. And that had a taxing toll, and it resulted in quite a disastrous state. I ended up getting divorced, I ended up selling my house, ended up back at my parents', and it was quite a rough time. But what I did realise is that simply when I connected with people face to face, not on social media, and was honest with not only myself and with others, that I could ask for help and I could do what I needed to do to stay well, which is taking that time in your day, being mindful. Getting up and walking around from your office is so easy to lose track of the hours while you're sitting at your desk. I know that when I was in another life working in office spaces in other NFPs, I would make sure that we all got up and walked around like every hour and a half. It was really annoying for my bosses and my co-workers, but you have to move, you have to get up and walk around. And it's surprising, like you guys all work in a multi-purpose space, and you might not know everyone here. Maybe make it a goal, like once a week, to meet someone new in your space and just say, are you okay? Start those simple conversations. It can seem daunting, but it's really simple. It's simply just saying, hey, how are you? And then you can tell by that person's body language, or by the pause, or if they aren't giving you eye contact, you'll be able to see whether they've got something on their mind. And trust your gut. The next step would be to have, and obviously don't have this conversation in the middle of the thoroughfare, somewhere private if you are concerned of someone, so that they feel comfortable that they have that space and that no judgment. Then you can action with them what steps that you can take for them to get the help. And then the most important thing that I think everyone forgets is just checking in with each other. So after you've had that conversation, it's not done. In a couple of days or a text, you can just simply say, hey, how did you go? Did you end up checking in with your GP? Did you speak to your wife? Did you speak to your partner? Did you check in even with your kids? Whoever it is. I think that is the most important thing about RUOK Day this year. Another thing that I would recommend that you guys do too is, even when you're at work, you sort of forget about your loved ones at home, and it's really easy to just think, oh God, it's 5 o'clock, I haven't spoken to anyone all day, and you might look at your missed calls on your phone and you feel like you don't have that time. Take that 1 second while you're buying your coffee to send out a text just saying thinking of you to whoever it may be, your best mate, a loved one, someone you haven't spoken to in ages, whoever it is. Just take that time, and I think all it really comes down to is simply human connection. Humans need that fundamental face-to-face connection, or a thought, and to know that they're cared about on any kind of level. And even as simple as if you're making a coffee in your tea room, just make the other person a coffee. Or if you can see someone sort of struggling, don't be scared to ask if they're okay. I think we always have that bystander effect, and we sort of wait for someone else to pick up the ball when you can see someone's sort of struggling, but you've got to do it for you. The last message that I want to leave you with too is, Are You OK Day, we're pretty big on making you check in with other people, but I really want you to focus on asking yourself if you're okay, because that's even more important, because you won't be able to help anyone if you don't have the energy to look after your own self. So be honest with yourself, and it's okay if you're not, because that just means that you need to take that time to practice some mindfulness, or maybe just run up and down the flights of stairs instead of taking the lift. Whatever it is, you check in on you. You matter, and you'll know that once you start reaching out, people will just open up, and it's really common to have mental health struggles. You don't need a mental illness to ask for help. You can ask for help before you get to that stage. It's probably better. So I'm Steph, and please trust the signs, trust your gut. I'll leave some cards for you that have the simple 4 steps of Are You OK and how to do it. And feel free to ask me any questions. I'm an open book, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.